Are you tired of living like a shadow on a wall? Do you wonder about your true purpose in life? Do you crave an inner strength to face the world's challenges? You've been working on yourself, growing and evolving. Now it's time to dive deeper. In this next chapter of our journey together, we're exploring the biggest questions humanity has ever asked. We'll start with Plato and his mind-bending journey into a cave of shadows. Then, we'll master the art of resilience with the ancient Chinese sage Lao Tzu and the legendary Bruce Lee. We'll search for the meaning of life with Aristotle and Nietzsche, and we'll discover how to become self-reliant and create our own happiness. In today's video, we're continuing our self-development series from the previous episodes. If you're new here or missed the last one, you can check out all the episodes in the playlist that'll pop up at the end of this video. These lessons aren't just educational content. They're a daily, all-encompassing approach to life. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If you're digging this series, show some love by liking the video and dropping a "keep it up" in the comments below. Get ready to change the way you think and see the world around you. Let's continue this incredible journey of self-discovery together. Lesson 1. Plato's View. Your brain's a cave. Let's shine some light on that. All right, folks. Let's dive into the deep end of the philosophical pool with Plato. Don't worry, you don't need a toga or a degree in ancient Greek to understand this stuff. We're going to break down Plato's mind-blowing ideas in a way that's relevant to your everyday life, sprinkled with some modern-day examples and a dash of humor. The cave analogy. Dude, where's my reality? Plato's most famous analogy is the allegory of the cave. Imagine a bunch of prisoners chained up in a cave, facing a blank wall. All they ever see are shadows cast on the wall by objects passing in front of a fire behind them. They believe these shadows are the real world. One day, a prisoner escapes the cave and sees the real world for the first time. The sunlight is blinding, the colors are vibrant, and the objects are three-dimensional. He returns to the cave to tell his fellow prisoners about the real world, but they think he's crazy. So, what's the point of this trippy story? Plato is saying that most of us are like those prisoners in the cave. We're trapped in a world of illusions, mistaking shadows for reality. We're blinded by our own biases, our limited experiences, and the constant bombardment of information from the media and social media. The world of forms, the ultimate upgrade. According to Plato, the real world is not the physical world we perceive with our senses. It's the world of forms, a realm of perfect, eternal, and unchanging ideas. These forms are the true reality, and the physical world is just a pale imitation. Think of it like this. The form of beauty is the perfect, ideal version of beauty. All the beautiful things we see in the physical world, a sunset, a flower, a work of art, are just imperfect reflections of this ultimate form. Plato believed that our souls come from the world of forms, and that we have an innate knowledge of these perfect ideas. But when we're born into the physical world, we forget this knowledge. Education, according to Plato, is not about filling our minds with new information, but about remembering what our souls already know. So how do we access this world of forms and gain a deeper understanding of reality? 1. Question everything. Don't just accept things at face value. Question your assumptions, your beliefs, and the information you receive from the world around you. As Socrates, Plato's teacher, famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." 2. Seek out wisdom. Read philosophy, engage in deep conversations, and explore different perspectives. As Plato put it, philosophy begins in wonder. 3. Cultivate virtue. Plato believed that the pursuit of virtue, qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, is essential for living a good life. By cultivating virtue, we can align ourselves with the world of forms and live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The social media skeptic. The social media skeptic doesn't just accept the curated highlight reels they see online. They question the motives behind these posts. They look for the hidden biases, and they seek out alternative perspectives. The lifelong learner. The lifelong learner is always seeking out new knowledge and experiences. They read books, take courses, attend lectures, and engage in conversations with people from different backgrounds. They understand that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey. The ethical activist. The ethical activist is guided by a strong moral compass. They fight for justice, equality, and human rights. They understand that the world of forms is a realm of perfect justice, and they strive to bring that justice into the physical world. The bottom line: Plato's philosophy might seem abstract and esoteric, but it has profound implications for how we live our lives. By questioning our assumptions, seeking out wisdom, and cultivating virtue, we can break free from the illusions of the cave and glimpse the true reality of the world of forms. As the philosopher Immanuel Kant put it, dare to know, have the courage to use your own understanding. Lesson 2. It is well to be flexible. Your inner Gumby's guide to rolling with the punches. All right, folks, let's talk about flexibility. No, we're not talking about yoga poses or contortionist acts, although those are impressive. We're talking about the mental and emotional flexibility that allows us to adapt to change, overcome challenges, and thrive in an unpredictable world. The rigidity. Rut. We humans are creatures of habit. We like routine, predictability, and knowing what to expect. But life doesn't always play by our rules. Things change, plans fall apart, and unexpected events throw us for a loop. When we're rigid in our thinking and our approach to life, we're like a tree in a hurricane. We're more likely to snap under pressure. But when we're flexible, we're like a reed in the wind. We bend, but don't break. As the philosopher Bruce Lee famously said, "Be like water making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves." The philosophical flow. The ancient Taoists, like Lao Tzu, understood the importance of flexibility. They believed in the concept of Wu Wei, which means non-action or effortless action. It's about going with the flow, adapting to circumstances, and not forcing things to happen. As Lao Tzu put it, the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. So, how do we cultivate this inner Gumby and become more flexible in our thinking and our approach to life? 1. Embrace change. Change is inevitable. The sooner we accept this, the easier it will be to adapt to new circumstances. As the Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, the only constant in life is change. 2. Let go of expectations. Our expectations often set us up for disappointment. When things don't go according to plan, we get frustrated, angry, or resentful. By letting go of our expectations, we can open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences. 3. Practice. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more aware of our thoughts, feelings and reactions, and we can learn to respond to change with more flexibility and grace. 4. Cultivate a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. By embracing a growth mindset, we see challenges as opportunities for learning and growth rather than threats to our ego. 5. Find humor in the absurdity. Life can be absurd, unpredictable, and downright hilarious. By finding the humor in the absurdity, we can lighten our load, reduce stress, and approach challenges with a more playful attitude. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The cancelled flight. Instead of getting angry and frustrated when your flight is cancelled, take a deep breath and assess your options. Can you rebook on a later flight? Is there a hotel nearby where you can rest and regroup? Can you turn this unexpected delay into an opportunity to explore a new city or catch up on some reading? The job loss. Instead of seeing a job loss as a personal failure, the flexible person views it as a chance to reassess their career goals, learn new skills, and explore different paths. They might even discover a new passion or calling that they never would have considered before. The relationship ending. Instead of wallowing in self-pity or blaming their ex, the flexible person takes time to heal, reflect on what they learned from the relationship, and open themselves up to the possibility of new love. The bottom line: flexibility is not about being a pushover or compromising your values. It's about being adaptable, resilient, and open to change. It's about recognizing that life is a journey, not a destination, and that the only way to truly thrive is to learn to bend with the wind. As the philosopher Charles Darwin put it, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change." Lesson 3. This is what we're here for, your cosmic cheat sheet to living a life that matters. All right, folks, let's have a heart-to-heart about the meaning of life. No, we're not talking about finding the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe and everything, although shout out to Douglas Adams for that one. We're talking about something more practical, more down-to-earth, more relevant to your everyday life. We're talking about discovering what you're here for, what makes your heart sing, and what leaves you feeling like you've made a difference in the world. The existential crisis. Let's face it, we all have those moments when we question our purpose, our existence, and the meaning of it all. We look around at the chaos of the world, the suffering, the injustice, and we wonder, what's the point? Why am I even here? As the philosopher Albert Camus put it, there is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. Judging whether life is or is not worth living amounts to answering the fundamental question of philosophy. But here's the thing. While existential crises can be scary and overwhelming, they can also be opportunities for growth and transformation. They force us to confront the big questions of life and to search for deeper meaning and purpose. The philosophical compass. The ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates believed that the purpose of life was to live a good life, a life of virtue, wisdom, and happiness. They believed that we were here to fulfill our potential, to contribute to society, and to leave the world a better place than we found it. As Aristotle put it, happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. So, how do we find our purpose, our meaning, our reason for being? 1. Follow your curiosity. What are you passionate about? What makes you lose track of time? What are you naturally good at? follow your curiosity, and explore your interests. You might be surprised at what you discover. 2. Serve others. One of the most fulfilling ways to find meaning in life is to serve others. This could mean volunteering your time, donating to charity, or simply being kind and compassionate to those around you. As the saying goes, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. 3. Create something. Whether it's art, music, writing, or a business, creating something can be a powerful source of meaning and purpose. It allows us to express ourselves, connect with others, and leave a lasting legacy. 4. Embrace challenges. Challenges are not obstacles, they're opportunities for growth. By embracing challenges, we learn new skills, build resilience, and discover our hidden strengths. As the philosopher Nietzsche said, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. 5. Live in the present. Don't get so caught up in the past or the future that you forget to live in the present moment. This is the only moment you have, so make the most of it. As the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh put it, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The teacher who inspires. A teacher who goes above and beyond to help their students succeed is not just doing their job, they're fulfilling their purpose. They're making a difference in the lives of young people and shaping the future. The artist who creates. An artist who creates art that moves, inspires, and challenges people is not just making pretty pictures, they're expressing their soul and connecting with others on a deep level. The volunteer who serves. A volunteer who dedicates their time and energy to helping others is not just doing good deeds, they're living a life of purpose and meaning. They're making the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time. The bottom line. The meaning of life is not a mystery to be solved, it's a journey to be lived. By following your curiosity, serving others, creating something, embracing challenges and living in the present moment, you can discover what you're here for and create a life that's truly meaningful and fulfilling. As the philosopher Viktor Frankl put it, the meaning of life is to give life meaning. Lesson 4. Blow your own nose. A philosophical guide to self-reliance and why you shouldn't rely on Kleenex for everything. All right, folks, let's talk about something that might seem a little silly at first, but trust me, it's got some serious philosophical implications. Blowing your own nose. Now, before you start snickering or reaching for a tissue, hear me out. We're not just talking about nasal hygiene here, although that's important too. We're talking about self-reliance, independence, and the importance of taking responsibility for your own well-being. The dependency dilemma. In today's world, it's easy to become dependent on others. We rely on our parents, our partners, our friends, our employers, our governments, and even our smartphones to take care of us, to solve our problems, and to make us happy. But here's the thing. When we rely too much on others, we give away our power. We become vulnerable, helpless, and unable to stand on our own 2 feet. As the philosopher Immanuel Kant put it, enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-incurred immaturity. In other words, true freedom and autonomy come from taking responsibility for our own lives and not relying on others to do things for us. The self-reliance revolution. The concept of self-reliance is not new. It's been a central theme in philosophy, literature, and pop culture for centuries. Think of Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay, Self-Reliance. Ayn Rand's novels, or even the rugged individualism of the American cowboy. But what does self-reliance really mean? It's not about being a lone wolf or refusing to ask for help when you need it. It's about developing the skills, knowledge, and confidence to take care of yourself, to solve your own problems, and to create your own happiness. So, how do we cultivate self-reliance and become the masters of our own destinies? 1. Embrace responsibility. Take ownership of your life. Don't blame others for your problems or expect them to fix everything for you. As the saying goes, if you want something done right, do it yourself. 2. Develop your skills. Learn new skills, acquire new knowledge, and challenge yourself to grow. The more you know and the more you can do, the less you'll need to rely on others. 3. Cultivate resourcefulness. When faced with a challenge, don't just give up or ask for help immediately. Try to figure it out on your own. Be creative, resourceful, and persistent. As the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. 4. Build confidence. Believe in yourself and your abilities. Don't let fear or self-doubt hold you back. As Henry Ford famously said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. 5. Seek support when needed. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation. It's okay to ask for help when you need it, but don't make it a habit. Learn to rely on yourself first and foremost. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The DIY homeowner. Instead of hiring a handyman for every little repair, the DIY homeowner learns to fix things themselves. They watch YouTube tutorials, read DIY blogs, and experiment with different tools and techniques. The self-sufficient gardener. Instead of relying on grocery stores for their produce, the self-sufficient gardener grows their own food. They learn about soil, seeds, and composting. They take pride in their ability to provide for themselves and their families. The independent thinker. The independent thinker doesn't just parrot the opinions of others. They research, analyze, and form their own conclusions. They're not afraid to challenge the status quo or to go against the grain. The bottom line: self-reliance is not about being a rugged individualist or rejecting all forms of help. It's about empowering yourself, taking responsibility for your own life, and cultivating the skills and confidence to navigate the world on your own terms. As the philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, self-reliance is the only road to true freedom, and being one's own person is its ultimate reward. So, blow your own nose, folks. It's a small act of self-reliance that can lead to a more fulfilling and empowered life. Lesson 5. When to stick and when to quit. Your philosophical GPS for navigating life's crossroads. All right, folks, let's talk about one of life's biggest dilemmas: when to stick with something and when to throw in the towel. No, we're not talking about your gym membership or that Netflix series you're binge-watching. We're talking about the big decisions, the career paths, the relationships, the creative projects that can make or break our happiness and fulfillment. The stick or twist tango. We're constantly bombarded with conflicting messages about perseverance and quitting. On one hand, we're told to never give up on our dreams, to push through the pain, to keep grinding until we achieve success. On the other hand, we're told to cut our losses, to know when to fold them, to not waste our time on things that aren't working. So, how do we know when to stick and when to quit? Is there a magic formula, a secret sauce, a philosophical cheat code that can guide us through this tricky terrain? The philosophical compass. The ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Confucius had a lot to say about perseverance and knowing when to change course. They believed that wisdom lies in finding the right balance between these two seemingly opposing forces. As Aristotle put it, there is only one way to avoid criticism: do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. In other words, if you want to achieve anything worthwhile in life, you have to be willing to take risks, face challenges, and persevere through setbacks. But the ancient philosophers also recognized the importance of knowing when to quit. As Confucius said, "The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell." In other words, it's important to be able to distinguish between pursuits that are truly meaningful and those that are simply distractions or dead ends. So, how do we find this balance between perseverance and quitting? 1. Clarify your values and goals. What are the things that are most important to you? What are your core values, your passions, your dreams? Once you know what you're truly striving for, it's easier to make decisions about what to stick with and what to let go of. 2. Assess the situation. Honestly, don't let your ego or your sunk costs cloud your judgment. Take an honest look at the situation. Is this pursuit aligned with your values and goals? Is it bringing you joy and fulfillment? Is it worth the time, energy, and resources you're investing in it? 3. Listen to your gut. Sometimes the best advice comes from within. Trust your intuition, your gut feeling, your inner wisdom. If something feels off, it probably is. 4. Seek counsel. Talk to trusted friends, family members, mentors, or therapists. They can offer valuable insights, perspectives, and support. 5. Embrace change. Change is a natural part of life. Don't be afraid to change course if something isn't working. As the saying goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The career changer. After years of working in a job that no longer fulfills them, the career changer decides to go back to school, start a new business, or pursue a different path altogether. They realize that sticking with a dead-end job is not a sign of perseverance, it's a sign of stubbornness. The relationship ender. After months or even years of trying to make a relationship work, the relationship ender realizes that it's time to move on. They understand that staying in an unhealthy or unfulfilling relationship is not a sign of commitment, it's a sign of self-sabotage. The creative pivot. The creative person who's been working on a project for months or years realizes that it's not going anywhere. Instead of throwing in the towel completely, they pivot, try a new approach, or start a new project altogether. They understand that creativity requires flexibility and a willingness to experiment. The bottom line, knowing when to stick and when to quit is a lifelong learning process. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and what works for one person might not work for another. But by clarifying your values and goals, assessing the situation honestly, listening to your gut, seeking counsel, and embracing change, you can navigate life's crossroads with confidence and clarity. As the philosopher Steve Jobs put it, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Lesson 6. Finding the right mentors, your Jedi counsel for leveling up your life. All right, folks, let's dive into the wisdom of finding the right mentors. We're not talking about some mystical guru on a mountaintop or a self-proclaimed life coach with a questionable Instagram following. We're talking about real people who've walked the path before you, who've faced challenges, made mistakes, and emerged wiser and stronger. We're talking about the mentors who can guide you, challenge you, and help you unlock your full potential. The mentor. Myth. We often have this romanticized idea of mentors as all-knowing, infallible beings who have all the answers. But the truth is, mentors are just people. They have flaws, weaknesses, and blind spots. But they also have valuable experience, knowledge, and insights that can help us navigate life's tricky terrain. As the philosopher Seneca put it, choose yourself a Cato, someone whose way of life as well as words have won your approval. Be always pointing him out to yourself, either as your guardian or as your model. In other words, find someone you admire, someone whose values and actions you respect, and learn from them. The modern-day Yoda. Mentors come in all shapes and sizes. They can be teachers, coaches, bosses, friends, family members, or even strangers you meet at a coffee shop. They can be older, younger, or the same age as you. The key is to find someone who you connect with, who inspires you, and who challenges you to grow. Why you need a mentor squad. 1. Accelerated learning. Mentors can save you years of trial and error by sharing their hard-won lessons and insights. They can help you avoid common pitfalls, navigate challenges, and achieve your goals faster. 2. Expanded perspective. Mentors can offer a different perspective on your situation, your challenges, and your opportunities. They can help you see things from a new angle, challenge your assumptions, and broaden your horizons. 3. Support and encouragement. Mentors can provide a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and a much-needed dose of encouragement when you're feeling down. They can remind you of your strengths, your potential, and your worth. 4. Accountability and feedback. Mentors can hold you accountable for your goals and provide constructive feedback on your progress. They can help you identify your blind spots, overcome your weaknesses, and stay on track. 5. Networking and opportunities. Mentors can open doors for you, introduce you to new people, and connect you with valuable resources. They can help you expand your network and create new opportunities for growth and success. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The young entrepreneur. A young entrepreneur seeks out the mentorship of a seasoned business owner who has successfully built and scaled multiple companies. The mentor shares their experience, their knowledge, and their network, helping the young entrepreneur avoid costly mistakes and accelerate their growth. The career changer. A career changer seeks out the guidance of a career coach who helps them identify their strengths, their passions, and their ideal career path. The coach provides support, encouragement, and accountability as the career changer navigates the transition to a new field. The creative soul. A creative person finds a mentor in a more experienced artist, writer, or musician. The mentor offers feedback on their work, helps them develop their skills, and connects them with opportunities to showcase their talent. How to find your Jedi Council, your personal board of advisors. 1. Identify your needs. What are you looking for in a mentor? What kind of guidance, support, or feedback do you need? Once you know what you're looking for, you can start your search. 2. Look for role models. Who are the people you admire and respect? What qualities do they possess that you want to cultivate in yourself? Reach out to them and ask if they'd be willing to mentor you. 3. Network. Strategically. Attend industry events, conferences, and workshops. Join online communities and forums related to your field. You never know who you might meet, and what opportunities might arise. 4. Be a good mentee. Once you've found a mentor, be respectful of their time, be open to feedback, and be willing to learn. Remember, mentorship is a two-way street. The bottom line, finding the right mentors can be a game changer for your personal and professional development. By seeking out guidance, support, and accountability, you can accelerate your learning, expand your perspective, and achieve your goals faster. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Lesson 7. Brick by Boring Brick. Your blueprint for building an epic life, one tiny step at a time. All right, folks, let's talk about building something awesome. No, we're not talking about constructing a Lego masterpiece or a DIY backyard oasis, although those are cool too. We're talking about building a life that's meaningful, fulfilling, and leaves a lasting legacy. The instant gratification illusion. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant gratification. We want everything now: the perfect body, the dream job, the viral social media post. But the truth is, most things worth having take time, effort, and a whole lot of patience. As the philosopher Seneca put it, life's like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. In other words, it's not about how long you live, but how well you live. And building a good life, like building a house, takes time and dedication. The brick-by-brick philosophy. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, understood the importance of consistent effort and gradual progress. They believed that we should focus on the present moment, do our best with the tasks at hand, and trust that the results will come in time. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the obstacles we face can actually become stepping stones on our path to success. So, how do we embrace the brick-by-brick philosophy and build a life that's truly epic? 1. Set clear goals. What do you want to achieve in life? What are your dreams, your aspirations, your big, hairy, audacious goals? Once you know what you're aiming for, you can start breaking it down into smaller, more manageable steps. 2. Focus on the process. Don't get so caught up in the end goal that you forget to enjoy the journey. Focus on the process of learning, growing, and improving. As the saying goes, fall in love with the process, and the results will come. 3. Embrace the mundane. Not every task is going to be exciting or glamorous. Sometimes you have to do the boring stuff, the repetitive tasks, the grunt work. But even these mundane tasks are essential building blocks for your larger goals. 4. Celebrate small wins. Don't wait until you reach the finish line to celebrate your progress. Acknowledge and appreciate the small wins along the way. This will keep you motivated and remind you that you're making progress, even if it's slow and steady. 5. Be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a fulfilling life. Be patient with yourself, trust the process, and keep putting one foot in front of the other. As the saying goes, slow and steady wins the race. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The marathon runner. Marathon runners don't just wake up one day and decide to run 26.2 miles. They train for months, gradually increasing their mileage and building their endurance. They focus on the process of training, not just the goal of finishing the race. The entrepreneur. Successful entrepreneurs don't build their businesses overnight. They start with an idea, then take small, consistent steps to bring that idea to life. They face setbacks, learn from their mistakes, and keep iterating until they find success. The writer. Writers don't write bestsellers in a single sitting. They write drafts, revise, edit, and rewrite until they've crafted a story that's worth sharing. They embrace the messy, iterative process of writing, knowing that the final product will be worth the effort. The bottom line: building a fulfilling life is like building a house. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of bricks. But with patience, perseverance, and a focus on the process, you can create something truly extraordinary. As the architect Mies van der Rohe put it, God is in the details. So, pay attention to the details, embrace the mundane, and keep laying those bricks, one by one. You'll be amazed at what you can build. Lesson 8. Solve problems early. Your firefighter's guide to dousing life's blazes before they burn down the house. All right, folks, let's talk about problems, not the fun kind, like solving a crossword puzzle or figuring out the ending of a mystery novel. We're talking about the real deal problems, the conflicts, the setbacks, the unexpected curveballs that life throws our way. The procrastination. Pitfall. We all do it. We see a problem brewing, but we tell ourselves, I'll deal with it later. We bury our heads in the sand, hoping it'll magically disappear. Or we convince ourselves that it's not a big deal, that we can handle it later, when we have more time, more energy, more resources. But here's the thing: problems rarely solve themselves. In fact, they often get worse the longer we ignore them. As the saying goes, a stitch in time saves 9. The philosophical fire hose. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood the importance of addressing problems early on. They believed that by facing our challenges head-on, we could prevent them from escalating and causing unnecessary stress and suffering. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the obstacles we face can actually become opportunities for growth and learning. So, how do we channel our inner firefighter and tackle problems before they turn into raging infernos? 1. Early detection. The first step is to be aware of potential problems before they become full-blown crises. This means paying attention to the warning signs, listening to your intuition, and not ignoring those nagging feelings that something isn't right. 2. Swift action. Once you've identified a problem, don't procrastinate. Take action as soon as possible. The longer you wait, the more difficult the problem will become to solve. As the saying goes, the early bird catches the worm. 3. Root cause analysis. Don't just treat the symptoms of the problem, address the root cause. Ask yourself, why is this happening? What are the underlying factors that are contributing to this problem? By understanding the root cause, you can develop a more effective solution. 4. Creative problem solving. Don't be afraid to think outside the box and come up with creative solutions. Brainstorm with others, research different approaches, and experiment with different strategies. As the inventor Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." 5. Learn from your mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. The key is to learn from them and not repeat them. As the psychologist Carol Dweck put it, in a growth mindset, challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So rather than thinking, "Oh, I'm going to reveal my weaknesses," you say, "Wow, here's a chance to grow." Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The relationship conflict. Instead of letting a small disagreement fester and turn into a major fight, address the issue early on. Have an open and honest conversation with your partner, express your feelings, and listen to their perspective. The financial woes. If you're starting to fall behind on your bills, don't wait until you're drowning in debt. Create a budget, cut back on expenses, and seek help from a financial advisor if needed. The health scare. If you're experiencing unusual symptoms, don't ignore them. Schedule an appointment with your doctor, get a checkup, and address any potential health issues early on. The bottom line, problems are a part of life, but they don't have to control us. By addressing problems early on, we can prevent them from escalating and causing unnecessary stress and suffering. By cultivating a mindset of proactivity, resourcefulness, and resilience, we can turn challenges into opportunities for growth and learning. As the saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Lesson 9. You can do it. Your philosophical pep talk for crushing self-doubt. All right, folks, let's talk about self-belief. Not the "I'm so amazing I can do anything" kind of self-belief that's often peddled by self-help gurus. We're talking about the deep-rooted, unwavering conviction that you have the ability to overcome challenges, achieve your goals, and live a life that's meaningful and fulfilling. The self-doubt spiral. We all experience self-doubt from time to time. It's that nagging voice in our heads that whispers, "You're not good enough," "You'll never succeed," or "Who are you to even try?" It's the fear of failure, the imposter syndrome, the feeling of not being worthy or capable. But here's the thing, self-doubt is a liar. It's a mental construct, a story we tell ourselves based on past experiences, negative feedback, or societal expectations. And like any story, it can be rewritten. The philosophical power-up. The ancient philosophers, like Aristotle and Confucius, understood the importance of self-belief. They believed that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality, and that we have the power to cultivate a mindset of confidence, resilience, and self-efficacy. As Aristotle put it, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. In other words, our actions shape our beliefs, and our beliefs shape our actions. By repeatedly taking action and achieving small wins, we can build our confidence and overcome self-doubt. So, how do we silence that inner critic and unleash our full potential? 1. Challenge your inner critic. When that voice of self-doubt starts whispering in your ear, don't just accept it as truth. Challenge it with evidence to the contrary. Remind yourself of your past successes, your strengths, and your unique talents. 2. Focus on your strengths. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Instead of dwelling on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? What makes you feel alive? By focusing on your strengths, you can build confidence and create a positive feedback loop. 3. Set realistic goals. Don't set yourself up for failure by setting unrealistic goals. Start small, achieve some early wins, and gradually build your way up to bigger challenges. As the saying goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. 4. Embrace failure as feedback. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every successful person has experienced setbacks and failures along the way. The key is to learn from your mistakes, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward. 5. Surround yourself with support. Don't try to do it alone. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who believe in you and your abilities. This could be friends, family, mentors, or even a therapist. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The public speaker. A person who's terrified of public speaking practices their speech, visualizes success, and reminds themselves of their past accomplishments. They step onto the stage with confidence and deliver a powerful presentation. The entrepreneur. A budding entrepreneur faces rejection from investors, but they don't give up. They refine their pitch, seek out new investors, and eventually secure funding for their business. The student. A student who struggles with math seeks help from a tutor, practices regularly, and develops a growth mindset. They start to believe in their ability to learn and improve, and their grades start to reflect their newfound confidence. The bottom line: you can do it. You have the power within you to overcome any obstacle, achieve any goal, and create the life you want. But it all starts with believing in yourself. As the philosopher Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." So, choose to believe in yourself, challenge your self-doubt, and unleash your full potential. The world is waiting for you to shine. Lesson 10. Just don't make things worse. Your philosophical guide to damage control and why you shouldn't pour gasoline on a fire. All right, folks, let's have a real talk about screwing up. We all do it. We say the wrong thing, make the wrong decision, or just plain mess things up. It's part of being human. But here's the thing. When we screw up, we have a choice. We can either make things worse, or we can try to make them better. The escalation effect. It's easy to get caught in a downward spiral when things go wrong. We make a mistake, then we beat ourselves up about it. Then we make another mistake trying to fix the first one, and before we know it, we're in a full-blown crisis. As the saying goes, when you're in a hole, stop digging. But sometimes our egos, our emotions, or our sheer stubbornness prevent us from doing the sensible thing. We keep digging, hoping to find a way out, but we just end up making the hole deeper. The philosophical fire extinguisher. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, understood the importance of damage control. They believed that when faced with adversity, we should focus on what we can control, our actions, our attitudes, our responses, and accept what we can't control, the past, other people's opinions, external events. As Epictetus put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In other words, we can't always prevent bad things from happening, but we can choose how we respond to them. So, how do we put out the fires we've started and prevent further damage? 1. Acknowledge the mistake. The first step is to acknowledge that you've made a mistake. Don't try to deny it, minimize it, or blame someone else. Own it. As the saying goes, the truth will set you free. 2. Apologize, if necessary. If your mistake has hurt someone else, apologize sincerely. Don't make excuses or try to justify your actions. Simply acknowledge the harm you've caused and express your remorse. 3. Learn from the experience. Every mistake is an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I avoid making the same mistake in the future? 4. Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the problem, focus on finding solutions. What can you do to make things right? How can you prevent this from happening again? 5. Move on. Don't let the mistake define you. Learn from it, grow from it, and then move on. As the saying goes, Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The relationship blunder. You said something hurtful to your partner. Instead of getting defensive or doubling down, apologize sincerely, listen to their perspective, and work together to repair the damage. The work mistake. You made a mistake on a project at work. Instead of trying to cover it up or blame someone else, own up to your mistake, learn from it, and take steps to prevent it from happening again. The social media gaffe. You posted something online that you later regretted. Instead of deleting it and pretending it never happened, acknowledge your mistake, apologize if necessary, and learn from the experience. The bottom line, we all make mistakes. It's part of being human. But what separates the wise from the foolish is how we respond to those mistakes. By acknowledging our errors, apologizing, learning from our experiences, focusing on solutions, and moving on, we can turn our mistakes into opportunities for growth and transformation. As the philosopher Confucius said, the superior man blames himself, the inferior man blames others. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our philosophical journey today. We've explored Plato's allegory of the cave, the importance of flexibility, finding your purpose, and self-reliance. If you enjoyed this deep dive into philosophy and want more content that challenges your mind, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, the journey to enlightenment starts with a single step out of the cave. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring.